Hey guys, Kodo Total here, and welcome to Judge Simulator. This is a game that I haven't played before, but I've seen some gameplay a good while back. But just keep in mind, just because I've seen the gameplay doesn't mean that I'm fully familiar with the game. Just the basic concept of what it is. So this is me playing it for the first time, and it's going to be raw, and I get to experience the whole thing for myself. And with that being said, let's go right in and see what cases we get. Name: you have mail. I'm just gonna put Kodal. Dear Kodal, you were appointed as a judge. Banana Republic Courthouse today. Week 1, Case 1. Your Honor, first of all, as the Ministry, we wish you success in your new position. We wanted to remind you of the details that are important for you to make a correct judgment. You can find the evidence in the evidence file at the same time. You get information whether there is digital evidence on the tablet. The case file includes the content of the case and the information of the defendants. You can ask some questions to the defendants by clicking on microphone. These questions will play an important role in deciding your case. On the tablet, you can access some digital evidence such as camera footage or audio recordings. You can also access the recordings of your dialogue with the defendants via microphone. I might just start going through this. Finally, you will make your decision. Okay. So let's look at the case we have here. Case file: Harris Kellen, 25, male. Charges: violation of restrictions. The incident began on a night when a curfew was in effect around 1:45, I'm assuming AM, when patrol units noticed a suspicious individual in the Hawthorne district. When the officer stopped the individual, his identity was determined to be Harris Kellen. Harris says, I hadn't been feeling well at home for a while. I thought going outside for a bit would help me relax. I went out without even checking the time. While walking, I saw a police vehicle and remembered the curfew at that moment. I panicked. I was afraid of getting fined, so I didn't comply with their instructions. I was just scared. Okay. No files. No digital evidence. Email? No. So far, this seems like a misdemeanor. Why did you resist the police from taking action? Because I thought I could explain myself. I didn't want to let the police write a ticket without telling them what happened that night. You say you were feeling unwell. In that case, why didn't you call the emergency line? Let's look at the law book. Financial. How do I... Okay, there we go. What would that be? Public? 6 months public service and $1,000 fine. So... what I'm getting here is that he simply just didn't check the time, or it might just be some excuse. He could have been up to something. It doesn't look like he did anything major or whatever. So I think we just follow the book here and give him 6 months and $1,000. So he's also not denying anything. So I'm gonna say guilty. I'm gonna do 6 months and the 1,000. Ooh, success. The family. Kitty. $0. I'm broke. End of the day, go outside. What happens when we go outside? Oh, we can't afford that. Okay. So just end the day. Bill passed. Convicts with a criminal record will now be given increased penalties. Oh, that's true. I didn't check his record. I don't know if there was one. Okay, let's look at this. He has a criminal record. Sam McHale, 22, male. Charges: possession and carrying of drugs. Details: the incident occurred in the evening during a routine ID check conducted by patrol police units on North Slate Avenue. Give me a second. Alright. During a frisk conducted on Sam McHale, who was stopped due to suspicious behavior, narcotic substances were found. Further investigation found no record of the individual engaging in drug trafficking. However, it was assessed that the substance was regularly obtained for personal use. Statements by Sam. Yes, I had substances on me. I don't deny that. I use them when I'm alone to clear my head, suppress insomnia, and to organize my thoughts. I didn't sell them to anyone, and I didn't harm anyone. My life has been off track for a long time. This substance feels like an escape, but I also know that it's not an excuse. So he's admitting guilt. What's his criminal record? Can we look at that? Cocaine. Yeah, okay. In his statement. That is not. No. That is not going to have that effect. I don't think so. I think he's lying his ass off. What does this do? Okay, no, we don't need that. Let's find the page. Okay, it wasn't that narcotic. This right here. Let's question him. Why did the police stop you? I was just going home. When I saw the officers, I remembered I had substances on me and panicked. I changed direction, but I guess that made me look even more suspicious. Where did you get the drugs? I don't even properly know his name. We have a very superficial acquaintance. Sounds like a dealer to me. Where did you meet this person? At a place called the Copper Lantern Bar on the lower side of the city. We don't have a special connection, we just ran into each other. Okay. Also, I know this is just a game and whatnot, but I want to make it clear that I'm not having any biases or anything. I'm completely going neutral into these cases, and I'm going based off of the statements and the evidence provided. So there's no discrimination. He was found with cocaine. He has a record. So 10 months public service. What was the email? Or like the thing on the newspaper. I remember the newspaper said something about having increased sentences for people with criminal records. So instead of 10, I'm gonna double it to 20. Sam McHale, you were guilty of carrying cocaine. And based on evidence, you are gonna do 20 months of public service. Actually, wait. Okay, no fine. 20 months. Success. Am I just not getting paid, or is that coming by the end of the week? Kitty. A lamp. Clicking around. End of the day. Alright. Oh, let's check this. Your Honor, a lot of evidence is lost as a result of anarchist attacks on our state. In order to ensure the security of the evidence in the cases, we will deliver the evidence to you in a device we call Cryptex. We designed the passwords on this device so that only you can solve them, and remember, if you try to open it 3 times before the green light turns on, the cryptex will destroy the evidence. Okay? So, no criminal record, first offense. Tom Braxley, 49, male, charges assassination. In the evening hours, the lifeless body of the company Company CEO Marcel Hadrick was found in the trunk of his vehicle in the underground parking lot of the Norvax Industries building. The fact that the security system was disabled at the time of the incident indicates that this was a planned assassination. When the incident was discovered, the only attendant present in the parking lot, Tom Braxley, was detained, and the first statement was taken from him. I had just started my shift about 2.5 hours ago. During my routine patrol, I still saw the CEO's car in the parking lot, which didn't seem strange to me, but I noticed that the trunk was completely open. When I approached, I saw Mr. Hadrick lying motionless inside. The first thing that caught my eye was a red rose placed on him, as if someone had deliberately left it there. I immediately contacted headquarters via radio and reported the incident. So, first impression, this guy might just be a security guard and is being accused. Huh. How? What? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to move this. Okay, there we go. Evidences. A nylon-covered steel rope located next to the vehicle's rear tire. Red rose found on the body. Let's see. No digital evidence. I guess we question him now. Isn't a card required to enter the company parking lot? How do you think the killer could have gotten inside? I checked the system records and there's no card scan visible since the moment I started my shift. I think the killer disabled the system remotely. Did you have any personal relationship with the CEO? No, I joined the company only 2 months ago. I've only seen him from a distance. We had no arguments and no contact. The issue with this is that it is circumstantial evidence. There's no digital evidence here. But the fact that I'm thinking right now that this guy was a security guard at this company. So he would have access to the security system. So he probably is guilty. He probably disabled the camera system. Let's look at here. He did approach the car. But he has no criminal record. What would this be? I don't see where assassination is at. Oh, I just saw this here. Criminals with a record should be given aggravated punishment. Criminals must be given the sum of their sentences for the crimes listed in the charges section. Am I gonna have to look through this entire thing? Oh, here we go. 62 years. And the dude's 49. He's gonna die in prison. I'm conflicted about this because he has no record. So I'm gonna have to take a gamble here. Because he could be guilty, but probably not guilty. Okay. I'm gonna have to just make a decision here. He has no criminal record. Despite there being evidence in the case, I don't think it's pointed directly to him. The only thing would be the cameras. Let's look at the speaking records. I'm thinking he might have gotten the job to kill him. Okay. I guess, there's just two possibilities here. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say not guilty. Success. Success. $600. Wow. Just 100. Oh no. Withdraw that. Now we have 100. What's this? Your daughter asked you for 100 for her school fees. Do you accept? Your sanity will drop if you don't accept this. Ah, man. But we just got money. I mean... well, she can't ask Mom for it? Screw it, I guess. Oh, trophy. Let's see. End of the day. Now we got two people. Mason Rourke, 33, male. And Derek Caldwell, also 33. They both have no records. Oh, one does have a record. Charges: auto theft. The vehicle owned by Rob Singer, which was parked overnight in the parking lot of his apartment building, disappeared by morning without leaving any trace. Following the report made by Rob Singer, the vehicle was located and stopped by patrol units. Following the identification process, the driver of the vehicle was identified as Mason Rourke, this guy here with the record, previously known as Tiny M, who has a criminal record for vehicle theft. Rob Singer: I have no information about how my vehicle was stolen. Clearly, those who did it were professional thieves. The police said they left no traces at all. The only thing I am certain about is that my car was locked. Statements from Mason. Early in the morning, an old friend of mine, Derek Caldwell, called me. He said there was an urgent package that needed to be delivered and that he was unavailable. I immediately went to his house to help. He opened the door and handed me a package and a car key. I didn't know the vehicle was stolen. As soon as I set off, I encountered a police checkpoint. That's where I learned the vehicle was stolen. Following the statement of Mason and Derek. Following the statement of Mason, Derek has been taken into custody. Derek. Everyone who is involving me in this incident is making a mistake. Everything Mason said is a lie. I have nothing to do with that vehicle or any theft. Mason is trying to drag me into this, but I did nothing. Okay, that's a possibility. Let's look at the evidence. Evidence. Cigar scissors and box found in the vehicle. There is digital evidence on the tablet. Fingerprint number from the evidence. 21-22-354. Let's see who that matches. Derek. Okay. Let's look at digital evidence. Camera record. Okay. No facial recognition. Alright, let's question them. To Mason. Where were you the night the car was stolen? I was with my friends that night. We were a bit drunk and hanging out. I had been drinking until late. I woke up in the morning when Derek called. Does Derek call you very often? I'm not sure what you mean by very frequent, but we would talk 2 or 3 times a month. I must state that I am retired from these matters now. These days I work a regular job. To Derek. When did you meet Mason? We attended the same school, elementary school, then we both dropped out. Mason says that you gave him a stolen vehicle and asked him to deliver a package using that vehicle. Is this true? Mason is slandering me. Fixing the mistakes in his life is not my responsibility. Okay. This clearly points to Derek. So, what I'm getting here is like, these guys are friends since elementary. They clearly know each other well. What I'm getting is like teacher and student, and the student has learned everything from him. Because this is Derek's fingerprint number, as we see here. He has no record, but Mason does. The possibility of Mason framing Derek, I'm not sure about that. Because, you know, fingerprints here. And then digital evidence here. I'm going to take into account the shape of the figure in this camera fits more in line with Derek than Mason. Because Derek is smaller and more thin, and Mason's built big. And this guy right here matches Derek. So, let's see. Theft crimes. Auto theft. Since Derek has no record, I think I will just say he's guilty and give him 2 years. Based on evidence. So, Mason, not guilty. And Derek, you get 2 years. I hope this is the right choice. Success. Success. Game saving. I like that it auto saves. I think I'm gonna do like a few more cases, and then I'm gonna end the video here as a part 1. Kitty. I love cats. Breaking news. State of emergency. State of emergency declared. Due to state of emergency, judges can now be appointed to all types of cases. Week 2, Case 2. Oh, big one. Case subject. Determining which parent will be granted custody of 11-year-old Liam Reynard, however you say that, and his 8-year-old sister, Alina. Defendant Jacob, plaintiff Mara. Details. The couple Mara and Jacob Reynard, I'm going to say Reynard, officially divorced about 2 weeks ago. After the divorce, no agreement could be reached regarding custody of their 2 children, Liam and Alina. So the mother, Mara, filed a custody lawsuit. Family members' evaluation report. The father, Jacob, was deemed unfit to take full-time care of the children due to a long-standing anxiety disorder, intermittent anger control problems, and unstable living conditions. Although the mother, Mara, is loving toward the children, she has been in serious financial difficulty recently and has had to work 2 different jobs. The home conditions are modest, however, the report on ability to meet the children's needs evaluated the situation negatively. No digital evidence. So, a lot of questioning is going to be on here. Excuse me. To Liam. So to him. How did your parents' separation affect you? At first, I felt terrible. There was constant tension at home, but after they divorced, the arguments stopped. So I felt a bit relieved. Still, I feel sad that my dad is left alone. Would you rather live with your mother or father? I don't want to be separated from my sister, Alina. We can live together with our mom. My mom isn't in a good financial situation, but I can work and support her. How is your relationship with your father? I love my dad too, but sometimes he gets very angry. My sister gets scared. I wish they had never separated. To Alina. Would your family fight in front of you? Yes, they were shouting at each other. Do you love your mom more or your dad? I don't want to choose. I love them both. If you had to make a choice, who would it be? Please don't separate me from my big brother. Okay. There's not much to go on other than this report and the statements. So, what I am going to do is my decision will be based on the kids here, because the kids here take priority in this case for their safety and well-being. So, a financial situation is more solvable than someone's anger issues. I am leaning towards having the mother, Mara, take both the kids, and the father will be alone. Because this right here is a recipe for abuse. The mother only has financial problems, but seems to be able to be the better parent. So, I'm gonna say the first one decided that both granted to the mother. I'm gonna do one more case. End of the day, week 2, case 3. Let's look at this. I don't know how you pronounce that. Tiamond? Chris Tiamond? 49. No record. Charges assassination. In recent weeks, sanitation workers collecting trash in the city center came across the lifeless body of Fred J. Haldorn, the CEO of the Glenmore Company, among the garbage. The autopsy report determined that there were no signs of assault and that the death occurred as a result of prolonged oxygen deprivation. Details. According to the last meeting record in his daily calendar, the person Fred was with on the evening before his death was company board member Chris Tiamond. Chris. After the evening meeting, we left the company together and went to our usual bar. We stayed for about 2 hours. He drank, seemed a bit withdrawn, and didn't want to talk. Then I dropped him off at his home. I didn't know where he went after that. He was a good friend. It never crossed my mind that he would meet such an end. Statements. Cleaning worker who found the body. There was a black tarp over the trash container. When I lifted it, I saw the body of a man lying there in a navy blue suit. The body was slightly bruised, and there was a red rose on it. I thought things like this only happened in movies. So it looks like we have a serial killer on our hands with the red rose. Trying to carefully match this. I think this is right. Yep, there we go. Steel wire and red rose. Digital evidence, no evidence. So every case that we get with that has these killings, the killer is either good at lying or good at covering his tracks. No record here. So let's question him. Actually, first I'm gonna... Well, assassination again, so... Right here. Yeah, assassination. How long had you known Fred? We've been working at the same company for about 8 years, but we were relatively close only in the last 2 years. Did he have any enemies or anyone threatening him inside or outside the company? I don't think so, Your Honor. He was someone who got along well with people. While you were at the bar, did he mention anywhere he was going that evening? Unfortunately, he only said, "Take me home, I'm very tired." Okay, so this is another case where the evidence does not point towards him. The only thing is that he was the last person to be in contact with Fred. But I don't think that automatically means that he's the killer. Because the killer could have just showed up after and went into his home. He has no record, so it doesn't seem like he has any reason to kill his friend here. if he knew him for like pretty much 10 years. This right here, withdrawn and didn't want to talk, makes me think suicidal, but also this right here. He brought him home, and then his body turned up. Once again, I'm under a tough decision. Because every case that shows up with this evidence here, I cannot just assume that every defendant is guilty just because of this. And there's no cameras here. I can't go off of assumptions or speculation. I can do what if all I want, but it has to be based on evidence here. And nothing points towards him. And I can't go purely off of the story here, but I have no choice. His story might be true. And his questioning seems to point towards him dropping him off at home and actually being innocent. The killer probably waited for his friend here to leave, Chris, to leave, and then attacked him. And the killer seems to be targeting CEOs. So, with all of this, Chris, I think he is not guilty. We got a letter. We got a letter. Let's see what it says. As a result of the decisions you made in the cases, we decided to raise your salary. This week you will earn $700. Nice. Success. Success. Seems like I'm doing well so far. 700, now we got 200. Withdraw. Money. Credit options. Okay, game saving. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm not sure how to, like, exit to the menu. Okay, that's the options menu. Thankfully the game auto-saves, so I don't think I need to worry about losing progress. Right now we are on week 2, and we've done 6 cases so far, with only 200. I'm not gonna do these activities yet. And I'm not going to move on to the next. I'm going to end it right here. This has been part 1 of my new series of Judge Simulator. I hope you enjoyed this video, watching me go through all these cases, looking over the evidence, doing all the questioning and figuring things out, and just thinking about everything in the case. Excuse me. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, or if you didn't, leave a comment on why or whatever. Dislike it if you want to. This is Kotal Total signing out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.